Nissan has come out and said it. They've attacked Toyota. They're saying Toyota is lying about its fuel use claims for its plug-in hybrids, its so-called electric cars. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name's Sam Evans. I'm coming to you from Thailand. Normally I live in Australia, but at the moment, drastic times call for drastic measures. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link in the description below to the cancer struggles we've been dealing with over the last couple of months. That aside, though, let's have a look at what Nissan are saying. Nissan has defended the fuel savings on offer in its electrified X-Trail e-Power. X-Trail e-Power. It's kind of like a marketing term to describe their plug-in hybrid, which won't get anywhere near the emissions or the fuel claims in itself. So Nissan's being a bit hypocritical here anyway. But it says Toyota exaggerates the fuel use claims in pretty much all of its hybrid cars, including the RAV4 hybrid. Nissan's a Japanese car company, right? The thing is here, Nissan actually are beholden to Toyota. Now, you're probably thinking, no, they're not. There's no direct link between Nissan and Toyota, but you'd be wrong because there is. The CEO of the Japanese Automobile Association is none other than the grandson of the founder of Toyota. In fact, the former CEO of Toyota, who is still the president of Toyota, is currently the president of the Japanese Automobile Association. Nissan pretty much has to do what they say to some degree. I believe this is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the Japanese automakers starting to infight, starting to criticize each other, starting to squabble. This is when you see things go bad. Unlike Toyota, which uses a conventional hybrid system in models like the Kluger, the Corolla Cross, and the Yaris Cross, Nissan's e-Power uses a petrol motor to recharge the onboard lithium-ion battery, with only the electric motors used to power the driving wheels. This, says Nissan, delivers a superior EV-like drive experience, but it can't match the Toyota RAV4 hybrid on claimed fuel use. Now, the truth is, it doesn't deliver anywhere near an EV experience, but that's Nissan's marketing for you. And maybe it's better than a gasoline-powered car, but I personally wouldn't touch it because you're essentially carrying around an incredibly complex, ridiculously overly complex drivetrain, one that will depreciate in value enormously. Plus, it's probably going to be a real bitch to try and get parts and imagine having one of these cars in 5 years' time when everyone's just buying EVs and thinking to yourself, you know what, I don't want this anymore. How much do you think you'll be able to sell it for? Yeah. Now, for perspective on the fuel use between the two cars and for why Nissan is going after Toyota here, the conventional hybrid system in a RAV4 delivers a claimed 4.7 litres per 100 kilometres on the combined cycle here in Australia. The Nissan X-Trail e-Power, on the other hand, claims 6.1 litres per 100, which is an increase of 30% over the Toyota RAV4. Now, they're similarly sized cars. Nissan says customer satisfaction is much higher in its cars than a traditional hybrid, and then it doubled down by suggesting Toyota is exaggerating its fuel figures, which probably is. I mean, to be honest, all plug-in hybrids have bogus fuel figures. As I've mentioned in numerous studies, it's been proven they just make this nonsense up, and in fact, fuel figures are way different to what manufacturers claim. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I'll put a link in the description below to that video. This drives more like an EV. We know from our experience with EVs that customers love it, says Adam Robertson, Deputy Director at Nissan Technical Centre in Europe. Now, this is a pretty new car, so I'm not really sure there'll be a whole lot of customer experience with this car. It's not really a great seller, so I'm not really convinced this is true. But anyhow, he said, EVs have the highest level of satisfaction for acceleration. And that's not just the outright performance for a car like the Porsche Taycan. That's all EVs. Isn't this weird? He's saying this. It's not even an EV. It's a hybrid. And he's saying how great EVs are. Strange. We also know that traditional hybrids have the lowest satisfaction. We wanted to capture the customer experience that they really like and bring that in with e-Power. Traditional hybrids have the lowest satisfaction, says Nissan, and EVs have the highest satisfaction, says Nissan. There you go. It's not just at the rubber band sound of a conventional hybrid, it's the pregnant pauses, the delays. You put your foot down and you have to wait for the revs to build, the torque to transfer through the transmission, and the vehicle to accelerate. Now, that's a good point. I really think those things about a gasoline-powered car make them not that good. And that's why I constantly question on this channel why all these people who are brainwashed into the Mercedes, BMW, and Audi luxury cult really believe that they're driving a luxury car. I have a BMW X5. I'm trying to sell it, by the way. If you want to buy it, you can. And it's not luxury. It's got an 8-speed transmission. You call that luxury? No, I'm sorry, my friends. That is not the definition of luxury. Now, if you want to think it is, whatever, all power to you. But once you drive an EV, yeah, it's so much better. Now, Nissan went on to say, with an EV, you put your foot down and it's there. Away you go. And I agree. My car, it has 650 newton meters of torque. 650 newton meters. And guess what? I have to constantly, well, when I used to drive the thing, I had to constantly judge what I was going to do with the accelerator. Am I putting my foot down soon enough? I've got to wait for about 2 seconds until the power really hits. That's a so-called luxury car. Sure. Another Nissan executive went on to suggest that fuel savings between the two models might be closer in the real world than the paper specifications suggest, issuing a stunning takedown of Toyota's mega popular hybrid solution. I think with the fuel economy, it's a tricky one. We'll leave it in your hands to do the real world testing, but from a lot of the articles I've seen for RAV4 hybrid, you cannot get anywhere near 4.8 litres per 100 kilometres, said Alexander Pekanak, Nissan Australia's product manager of X-Trail. And from a lot of the articles I've seen from Qashqai, they're getting very close to the quoted e-power figures. We expect a similar result with the X-Trail. Asked whether they thought Toyota are overselling their hybrid fuel savings, the company said, based off the meter reports and the real-world testing, I think so. Well, based off the meter reports and the real-world testing of Toyota's BZ4X electric car, they're doing exactly the same thing with their only electric car. My friends, Nissan and Toyota, they're two companies that are basically selling Nokia mobile phones right before they were disrupted by new smartphones. That's what I think. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thank you for watching.